So I thought today we would go over this article on coal mining and how it harms the environment. Now, before we get into this, lately I have been posting a lot of theory and stuff, like my Theotype Grey Wolf. You may have saw that tail video. I was really proud of that tail video. That is my first piece of theory and gear. I got it on Etsy. I couldn't find anything exact to a real gray wolf tail, so I had to work with what I could find, because as a Therian, you need gear. But this video is very much more so for the environmental side of this page, and lately as well I've been posting nature clips, just trying to highlight on how pure Mother Earth is and how we need to do everything in our power to protect her. Because we only have one Earth, and if we continue to harm her as much as we have been, then what will we do? Mother Earth can only give so much, and if we just keep taking and not replanting and doing things like that, then what will happen? We keep damaging ground, like in this coal mining article we're going to be looking at. Like that there, see? Then what will we do? But without any further ado, when the last tree has been cut down, the last fish caught, the last river poisoned, only then will we realize we cannot eat money. That is, again, a Korean proverb, something I will be saying a lot in these videos. So, without any further ado at all, well, I'm just moving myself over here to the right for something later. So, without any further ado, let's begin. How coal mining harms the environment. Coal mining harms our lands, waters, and wildlife, even before burning, and it contributes to coal air pollution and climate change. Now here's just a picture. We will be looking at this picture quite a bit in the beginning as we're reading through this. This article is published by Ellen Montgomery, Director, Great Outdoors Campaign, Environment America Research and Policy Center, and Amelia English, Conservation Intern. Now it starts off by saying, you may be familiar with coal mining's environmental impacts in terms of air pollution and climate change, in addition to degrading air quality and contributing to greenhouse gas emissions. Extracting coal harms our lands, waters, and wildlife. Here are some of the adverse effects of coal mining on the physical environment. Damaging the land. Now again, before we read this paragraph here, you can just already look at here how it's damaging the land, because you have to dig and dig and dig to get the coal. And if you just dig and dig, you're damaging the wildlife. If there, you're killing the wildlife there. You're damaging valuable ecosystems. It's just doing so much harm there, as you can see. These big machines coming in and digging. But let's continue on. It's dry where I am, so if I'm keeping on coughing, I apologize. So, damaging the land. Surface mining is a method of coal mining in which huge machines remove layers of soil and rock to expose underground coal deposits. Companies clear forests, which, pause right there for a second, that's deforestation. Continuing on. Companies clear forests and strip away the earth in its process, and it's leaving behind desolate lands incapable of supporting wildlife. Now, each living creature on on this earth has its own job, not in the traditional way you'd think. They have a job for survival. Like, think of pollinators, bees, and birds, and what they do. Continuing on here, not only is excessive logging devastating for wildlife habitats and their inhabitants, but it also accelerates erosion without vegetation to anchor the soil. Precipitation can carry away loose topsoil into nearby waterways. The sediment can kill fish and plants, as well as clog streams, disrupting their natural flow and decreasing available aquatic habitat. So, like, aquatic habitat, for example, like fish, like any type of fish, salmon, trout, whatever it may be, you'd be taking away where they live, killing them. And again, it's just like in the proverb, on the last tree has been cut down, the last fish caught. We're emphasizing here on the last fish caught part. Because as when they're saying caught there, they could also mean in a metaphorical sense, when the last fish is killed, then what will happen? Going back to what I said, each living creature has their own, in quotation marks, job. And doing this disrupts the natural flow, the way all these living creatures, like wolves, anything you can think of, really. I say wolves against my Therian side, but it's disrupting their natural routine and how they live their everyday lives. Mountaintop removal is an especially destructive form of surface coal mining. Once the land is cleared, explosives are used to blast off the mountaintop. Blasting can remove nearly 600 feet or more of elevation, more than the height of the Washington Monument. Now, just to compare here, this is the Washington Monument. The picture is a little small, but you get the idea here. That's how much they're destroying. That Washington Monument is huge. And if they're digging that far down, they're destroying a whole lot in one foul swift. Going back to the article here, excess rock and soil are then dumped into large downward sloping runoff paths created in adjacent river valleys for disposal. These paths are called valley fills. Permanently bury headwater streams, which are the essential tributaries where all river networks begin. More than 2,000 miles of headwater streams have been buried due to mountaintop removal, causing critical losses in wildlife habitat, clean water sources, and natural benefits such as nutrient regulation and flood control. Now we're going to talk about polluting water here. Beyond the headwater stream loss, mountaintop removal has severe impacts on water quality that can persist for decades post-mining. According to a report by the EPA, water quality degradation from mountaintop mines and valley fills can reach levels fatally toxic to wildlife. Valley fills drastically increase salinity and metal concentrations downstream, endangering sensitive organisms such as salamanders and certain fish species. Again, it's like the proverb suggests, on the last fish caught. Like, and you're paying a lot for resources that are just resources and energy that are just not safe for the environment. Again, this is very much touching on fossil fuels and how bad they are. Continuing on here, of all the watershed degradation issues in coal mining areas, acid mine drainage is one of the most serious. Acid mine drainage AMD for short, occurs when water reacts with sulfur-bearing minerals and rocks, resulting in highly acidic water that contains toxic heavy metals. It poses a severe threat to wildlife and renders affected waterways unusable for drinking and recreation. In some areas, the water flowing from coal mines can burn your skin because it's so acidic. AMD, remember, that stands for acid mine drainage. Acid mine drainage, or AMD for short, can also turn the water an alarming orange or red color, a widespread problem in central Appalachia, where many streams are tainted with orange acid water, which, if any living creature drinks that, then it could lead to them getting sick and possibly lead to death. Where many streams are tainted with orange acidic water, acid mine drainage is a significant water quality issue in the U.S., where it degrades approximately 12,400 miles of rivers and streams, posing health risks, like I just said, to ecosystems and nearby communities. Again, leading to, if anyone drinks this color of water here, look how bad that is. Anyone drinks that, any living creature, or if any of the plants suck that in, then it could lead to plants and other animals getting sick and dying. And it says here in the small little blurb, Eastern Ohio is home to over 1,000 abandoned underground mines. It's AUM for short, mostly from coal production which began more than 200 years ago. The Mushroom Farm site, located in North Lima, Ohio, is plagued with acid mine drainage, AMD, like we just discussed earlier, resulting from surface mining conducted in the 1980s, and an underground mine, AUM, like was just discussed up at the top of this blurb, from the late 1800s. Threats to biodiversity. Each step of the coal mining process poses threats to biodiversity. Clearing forests for surface mining can fragment critical wildlife habitat, displacing or killing the species that reside there. Valley fills bury headwater streams, which provide refuge for rich communities of aquatic life and support species found nowhere else in the river system. Since these headwater streams also form the foundations of stable river food webs, disturbances from coal mining can trigger cascading effects throughout the entire river ecosystem. Furthermore, water contamination from coal mining has devastating effects on the wildlife in and around streams. Scientists who analyzed Central Appalachian streams impacted by coal mining found a 32% decline in the number of species present and a 53% decline in the total number of invertebrates, fish, and salamanders compared to stream sites unaffected by mining operations. Selenium pollution in water from coal mining is associated with the decline in sensitive fish populations and deformites in fish and birds in regions of British Columbia and Montana affected by coal mining. Fish with missing gills, misshapen skulls, and crooked spines have been recorded. The concentration of these pollutants in animals can increase as they make their way up the food chain in a process known as biomagnification. This means that even concentrations with minimal effects on organisms lower in the food chain can have severe consequences for higher level predators such as fish, birds, and humans due to the accumulation of toxins in their bodies. From devastated landscapes to polluted waterways, the environmental impacts of coal mining are extensive, reaching far beyond greenhouse gas emissions alone. These are not just local issues that restoring mining sites can correct. Ecosystem disruptions often have ripple effects that can lead to irreversible losses or damage, and mining impacts can persist even after restoration effects. The consequences of coal mining highlight the importance of the renewable energy transition by supporting policies and initiatives that prioritize renewable energy alternatives. We can mitigate these harms to the environment and wildlife to preserve nature for future generations. Because imagine if we preserve forests for future generations to come, then they will just see how beautiful Mother Earth is themselves and how pure it is. Now, we could continue to plant trees and build forests back up for future generations to explore. Continuing on here, where is coal mined in the United States? According to the U.S. Energy Administration, I'm not I don't live in the U.S. This is an American article. I'm just reading what it says, but I am Canadian. According to the U.S. Energy Administration, we mined coal in 22 states in 2022. Top 5 states for coal production are Wyoming, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Illinois, and Kentucky. States where coal mining happens. Now here's the full list here. Alabama, Alaska, Colorado, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maryland, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, New Mexico, North Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Virginia, West Virginia, and Wyoming. And so, there you have it. That is just a quick glance into coal mining and how bad it is for the environment. Just remember, always plant trees whenever you can. Always be environmentally friendly. And just remember, when the last tree has been cut down, the last fish caught, the last river poisoned, only then will we realize we cannot eat money. Again, that's a Korean proverb. Just remember, please do things that are safe and loving and caring for the environment. We only have one mother, and we need to take care of this mother. Alright, this is all for now. Thank you for watching if you did, and goodbye for now.